Today's show is brought to you by Link. Link helps level up your lawn care business with expert advice and support. Details are in the show notes.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Today, we got a podcast guest lined up for you guys. Super excited about that. It's been a couple of weeks since we actually had a guest on the show. This time of year, everybody's just running and gunning and trying to get all their cleanups done, get the first couple of snow plows and saltings under their belt. Busy time of year, not only for you guys, but for myself included. And so that being said, excited about having a guest, kind of shifting gears a little bit today, which is really exciting. We have one of my friends, Connor Fields, joining us on the show. Connor, good morning. How you doing today, brother?
Doing all right. How are you doing, Brian?
Doing good, man. Hanging in there. Busy time of the year for sure. You're down in North Carolina, right? So how's things going for you guys? Are you guys busy or are things kind of slowing down by now?
Yeah, out of Greensboro, North Carolina, the week before Christmas, things are slowing down. But overall, it's been a solid year. And excited for a week off plus before we get started next year.
Oh, okay. Heck yeah, man. Are you guys doing leaves or, you guys probably don't do too much snow, right?
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, snow is a joke over here. It's been about 3 years. But we have all the nationals reach out to us with those ridiculous low contracts. And it's a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, mainly a lot of leaf cleanups, stuff like that. And, prepping, the commercial properties for whatever they got going on, and high-end residential as well.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, cool deal, man. Well, then you guys are probably, like you said, finishing up cleanups and then being able to kind of chill out for the next couple of weeks. So that's really exciting. How did 2024 go for you guys?
It was solid. It was the best year yet. Growing hand over fist. Basically, we started 2024 out with 6 field employees, and we grew to 10 field employees plus 1 sales lady, and the part-time, but basically she works full-time essentially, helping grow the commercial end. Started a whole nother maintenance crew. We were just running one crew with the Isuzu cabovers, then got another one of those, and then grew that, and both routes are about full without adding another guy.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I'm trying to, maximize that. But I really want to focus on building our landscape crew more, as that's sort of been what our bread and butter is, as I haven't really pushed the maintenance since I started out.
Okay.
As much.
I gotcha. And then how many, what's the company look like right now then in total? How many guys do you have working for you and how many crews go out then?
So we got 3 crews that roll out each day, and we've got, a leaf truck that's a seasonal thing. And then, we've got a FERT tech that does stuff, but he still works in the field with the other crews. So he'll run out and do, the 7 applications plus aeration, all that stuff. But overall, so 10 field plus 1, and then I'm incorporated with my aunt and uncle and really close family. So, but overall, yeah. Well,
yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And how old are you? You're 26 or 27? I forget.
27. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Well, great job. It sounds like you got a great company going and a great base, which is really, really exciting. I want to hear how you got this whole thing started, man. Give me the 2-minute, brief, if you can, about how you got started in the green industry, because we're going to kick it to the show sponsors after that, and then we'll kind of unpackage the full deal. But how did you guys get started cutting grass? And you got almost probably 10, 15 years into this thing now?
Yeah. So it started when I was 7, obviously doing the stuff on the weekends after school.
Yeah.
And then, I was being a kid with the push mower in the neighborhood, stuff like that, $25 a yard. I was stoked on that. Did that up and, through high school and stuff. And then started, working for a landscape company when I was about 15. And basically worked my way up through there and became very knowledgeable and ended up running the whole maintenance crew on that. But then that made me want to pursue the career of going into this field. So I went to NC State for turfgrass management, the 2-year degree. Did that, and I was obviously doing stuff on the weekends too, but it wasn't fully incorporated as of yet. So on the weekends, coming home making $500 a weekend, that was awesome to me. And then going forward, ended up leaving school early. Decided wanted to pursue the business more and start making more money. So after I left, went back to work at that company and then slowly separated from that company and became incorporated in 2018. It's been a long road ahead, but got a wife and 2.5-year-old at home with 4 pets at home. So it's a zoo over here and
full life.
But it's blessed to have it. It's all working out.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, we'll unpackage a little bit more of this here right after the show announcements and we get to hear from the sponsors. But dude, that's awesome. It sounds like you got a great thing going on and a lot of moving parts and a growing family, big family. So that's really, really cool. And it sounds like you guys are also just getting started as well, man. So that's super cool. Well, let's do this really quick. We'll hit pause for a hot minute. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors, announcements, hear about everything that's going on in our neck of the woods with all the promotions and partners that we have. And then we're going to break it down a little bit more and hear a little bit more from Connor and the rest of his story. So guys, hang tight and we're going to come right on back.
Is your lawn care business ready to grow faster than your best kept lawn? Then you'll want to join Link, the ultimate community built exclusively for lawn care pros like you. With Link, you'll gain insider access to expert advice, live monthly coaching calls, and a private Facebook group active with successful launchpreneurs. This isn't just another group, it's a movement of pros committed to winning together. Act now and grab our special early bird pricing. Head to launchpreneuracademy.com or click the link provided in the podcast description.
Link is only $29 a month through January. Starting February 1st, it'll be $49 a month for new signups. If you sign up prior to February 1st, your rate will be locked in at $29 per month, and there's no price increase for current Link members.
All right. Well, Connor, we're going to go right on back to you, my friend, and love to break this down for a couple of more minutes about how you got started in business, including, I got to ask, I was looking at the Instagram page earlier. It said Fields Landscaping Co. Inc. So are you double incorporated or how does that, I'm just messing, brother, but how's that? Yeah. What's that story, by the way? It's awesome.
Yeah. So aunt and uncle, when I left that other company, I was doing my stuff on the side. They came to me and they wanted to help me start the business. And mainly with the backing of the legal side and getting everything set up with the taxes and all that stuff, as I was mainly, my mindset was more of a field employee and rather than having the back end business marked at that time stamp.
Okay.
But overall, we've grown it year over year. One of my main guys is still with me now. He's been with me for over 5 years. So it's, he runs our landscape crew and stuff like that. So, other than that, obviously we have some guys that's been turning year after year, but we've grown to a better overall company. But with the incorporation, really just helping to get me situated in a way to make this a long lasting company and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And when did you decide that you wanted to go all in on the business and build a green industry business? Were you evaluating college and all that as well, or?
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I went to NC State for turfgrass management, and I was pledging fraternities, fraternity over there, and they were, like, you're going to go cut grass, and you're stupid, you shouldn't do all that, and now. One of my best guys, I'm paying more than some of those guys are making, out of college. So
that's awesome.
It feels good on that perspective of it. But overall, really just love the outdoors. Always been like riding my dirt bike. I haven't done a lot of that lately with the kiddo, but overall just love the outdoors and just love pursuing, grass striping and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you said for the business, do you have one maintenance crew or two maintenance crews with the cab over or where? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we got two 4-door Isuzu cab overs.
Oh, 4. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The 4 doors are great. But so 2 of those and the gas ones. And so we were doing the truck trailer, and what actually made us get that, we were driving, one of our crews was driving down a well-known road in Greensboro, and this lady went to oncoming traffic and actually ended up totaling that truck. And it was right before September, so right before aeration season. So I was like, man, I got to pull the trigger on it. This was about 2 years ago. And I was like, I got to get a new truck. So I ended up just getting the Isuzu. And that was one of the best decisions we ever made.
Yeah. How do you like those compared to like a regular truck and trailer, if you guys have ever explored that route? Because I see so many guys going the Isuzu route right now.
They're sweet. I mean, overall, even just loading pallets of fertilizer on it, we're doing plugging, seeding, all that stuff is easy. Even with, doing trimming crepe myrtles, obviously we do a lot of heavy cutbacks from here on out through 1st of March. And it's perfect because you go up to the dump or, at the shop and just pull off the side. It's super easy. And, yeah, I think it's great because you don't have to worry about trailer tires either, or the trailer's not being connected properly. Mm-hmm. Had scary situations first starting out where guys didn't connect it properly, or the chain popped off the hitch,
right.
Stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that anymore. But obviously the landscape crew, we run a Ram 5500 and, with dump trailer, stuff like that. And, the ditch switch 1750 and the MT100, depending on what projects we'll bring on, both or just one. But yeah, I mean, that's the only truck and trailer really pulling besides the FERT one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. When you guys are building your clientele route, just curious if you don't mind expanding a little bit more on your guys' business model. Are you doing like a per price, per cut? Are you guys doing like a seasonal contract down there? I was talking to the Brad and Jack with Southern Stripes, and they were really pursuing a lot of seasonal flat rate, kind of contracts and deals, both residential and commercial. Are you guys building a route in your company that way? I mean, you got 10 people on, staff, so things are getting, kind of serious and getting pretty big. How are you approaching that and like your guys' cash flow? How are you guys managing all that?
Yeah, so we got started with LMN first about 7-8 months ago.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the best decisions we ever did.
Amen.
And it's been a game changer with the crew clocking in on the app and all that stuff. And this is the first year I really stepped out of the field, so I haven't had to be in the field really at all this year. Obviously, I'll come and show up to the projects, but route wise and crew wise, we're doing more seasonal contracts. So typically around here, we're doing 35 cuts, 42 cuts. And for high-end residential and commercial, we'll do 42. So that goes from like early, mid-February to basically right around this time.
Okay.
But obviously we'll still do some biweekly service during the dormant season on those properties. We have a handful that are still per cut. We don't do biweekly anymore. Got 2 that are just grandfathered in. They've been long-time clients, so I'm not doing any more of that. That was a nightmare doing the biweekly cuts.
Sure. That's awesome. Now, has that really helped to stabilize cash flow, like you said, and to keep guys on? Or how many guys, I guess, are you keeping on through the winter? Like, what does that all look like?
Yeah, so we're going to try and keep all the guys on we can. Obviously, we're going to cut back hours and try and keep at least 30 hours, give or take. And, whether cleaning up at the shop, cleaning the trucks. We got a ton of pine needle mulch projects coming up first of the year. So everybody's desperate once the leaves are done to get all their properties cleaned up. So
gotcha.
That's awesome. Yeah, we try and keep everybody on the most we can, and the guys are pretty understanding overall with the situation, with the weather.
Love it. 100%. Let me ask you this, elephant in the room. Like I've been on the LMN kick a lot the last 9-10 months. You said it's been a game changer for you guys. It really is. It really has been for us. I just was talking to my buddy Keith over the phone. He's thinking about making this switch. He's doing 700,000-800,000 in revenue, great business. So he's due. He's got a handful of guys, 6-7 guys rocking and rolling for his company as well. And he's like, hey, it's like, what does it do? And all this other mess. I'm like, Keith, I'll do a demo with you, whatever you need. I can't believe I was running my company without it. I said, I don't think it's like drinking the Kool-Aid, as I've kind of joked. I said, this is like the normal. This should be the standard, in my opinion. Like, this is how we all should have gotten started with something like this. And it's just wild to see like how revealing it is with the software for our business to help us have just a more lean approach, streamlined approach, better at bidding, better at pricing, better at budgeting. What has software like that done for you? And granted, yeah, you're using LMN, fantastic, but this level of software, I guess, even is the conversation. Like, what has that done for you? How has it, revolutionized your business, quote unquote?
It changed our profitability substantially. Some properties, we thought we were doing great on. We weren't tracking hours on site. We weren't tracking stuff as we should have been doing.
Sure.
I would say, hey, it wasn't organized. It wasn't where you can just pull it up on whenever you wanted to on the dashboard and look at it. Oh, we're over on this property or under. I have to go to an Excel doc and, stuff like that. Overall with the budget too, budgeting guys bonuses in there. We pay our guys lunches every Friday, little stuff like that we can still maintain profitability and still provide, our employees with a great experience as well.
That's awesome.
And
That's
reward them for all that stuff.
Yeah. How is it with the crew app and timesheets for you guys? So you guys pretty much all bought in and like using the app. I know some guys are like struggling with like maybe older, companies and, they didn't really have a system or process like before. My guys like adopted it pretty simply from day one. Like I didn't really have any pushback. I'm like, hey, like this is what we need to do to like track the work that we're doing. I just need you guys to punch in, punch out on our jobs. It's not really that complicated. So I feel like we've been doing like probably 90%, throughout the whole season with our timesheets and getting everything done and punched in, punched out. Like haven't had any issues. What's it been like for you guys?
Yeah. So we started, we shouldn't have started in the spring. If I was just in hindsight, I would have done it during the winter time because the onboarding, I think I slacked off a little bit on that. Cause we were starting like in March, April. And I was like, it was tough to put the hours into it and set up everything. But, after like week 2 with the guys running it, it was pretty straightforward. And the guys got the understanding, especially with taking the pictures, like pre and after, depending on the property, has been very helpful as well. Yeah. Just to communicate with the clients. And it's all saved on that dashboard. Yep. And just from like typing up, where we do billing, we always build a month behind how we operate. And so I go through the daily review and I'm about to do this, we send out monthly invoices. I can make sure how much do we do extra on this property? We do extra services and just add that on. And I can do it from, it's cloud based. So I can do it any computer, which is sweet. There's no papers, there's no nothing like that. But, fertilization has really been the thing we haven't really put on there as much. We're trying to on this last app we did, but going into next year, I'm going to have it absolutely everything on it. Yeah. That was the only thing that was sort of it was too complicated with the weather. I'd be like, hey, here's your sheet. Just go. Yep. Yeah. But overall, I just didn't have the time to set it up early season. Well, they've got some big things coming down the pike. I heard off the cuff and off the record with FERT, which is really, really cool. They signed up a giant FERT company, like giant. And one of the prerequisites, like, hey, you need to fix the FERT side of the platform and implement some big changes. And they're making some huge investments into the platform. So that's reassuring to hear. And that was one of the prerequisites for like the company to merge over to LMN. And they're like, oh, we'll build out whatever you need. And I'm sure they'll make that available to the, all accounts, which is going to be exciting. So always cool to see
And by the way, I had a week ago a hour and a half long conversation with 4 guys on the dev team about the product and like the integrations of everything, how the workflow, like what's working, what's not working, what do we need to change. Holy cow, I'm super pumped about what's going to be coming down the pike. Like they are really streamlining and thinning out all these extra clicks that you got to go through to, sometimes do simple tasks. So the product is going to continue to get better, and I'm really pumped up about that. So look forward to that Q1, Q2 of next year. So some really exciting things coming down the pike. But dude, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad to hear that things are going well, and you guys are on the grow. Where are you guys at? Over the next 12, 18 months, what are you guys looking to do as you go into 2025 and beyond? What's the future of the company look like?
Yeah. So, we just moved into an indoor facility.
Oh, cool. Congrats.
Yeah. So that was right around the Equip Expo. So like the busiest month of the year, everything was very stressful. So
sure.
The landlord we were renting from, we done trade work from, basically decided not to pay her rent. And we had 30 days to get out of there.
Oh, wow.
And that was October 1st. We got that notice. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
So we scrambled, and when I got back from the expo, we moved in that Monday or whatever.
Okay.
So that was a huge transition. We were running out of, big yard, those, gated in, stuff like that with shipping containers, stuff like that. And it's been a game changer. I know just to have, we didn't have water, we didn't have all that electricity, I have generators and all that stuff, but being able to have, pull the trucks in at night, loaded, backing in, is basically paying for that facility. If you think about how many man hours are wasted loading and unloading, going back to the cab over, it's sweet.
I love that.
Absolutely. It's basically paying for the facility on the time savings, obviously, and keeping everything dry. No frozen windshields in the morning. The guys can still do maintenance on the trucks. And then in the morning, everybody just rolls right out.
That's awesome.
It's pretty sweet on that perspective. And
were you guys? Did you rent or buy, or if you don't mind me asking, or
So we signed a multi-year lease.
Oh, cool.
On that, and after that lease is up, I think we're planning on building something, but we got some time to think about it, stack some dough for it, and we'll ready to move.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
When that becomes time.
Is it a dream facility where you could maybe try to buy it, or is it something that you guys are just, it's just, a good middle ground for right now, and then you want to build something custom or whatnot? Yeah,
so it's a pretty cool building. The building's, it's like a multi-stage warehouse area, but it was pretty cool. The building's about 100 years old. It's got like wooden trestles in the top. So it looks like, it was an old cotton mill. And the railroad runs directly behind the building. So like I'm sitting in the office and all of a sudden Amtrak comes, exactly every time, every morning they're on the dot, and it shakes the whole building.
Oh, really?
You open up the back door and the train's flying by. But, it's a great facility. It's definitely a middle ground facility. The landlord's basically saying, yeah, you could move a bay over and expand, in the future. But I'm like, no, I don't think that's going to be, because we're going to need our own facility with our own open lot and all that.
That's cool.
But thankful it's all worked out. That was October was quite a month.
That's awesome.
One of the best sales months we've ever had. Plus with that, it was a lot going on.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah, people. Moving anytime is always stressful and a challenge, right? Doesn't matter if you're moving business, moving your life, boxing everything up, or unboxing your life. It's never fun. It's always an exhausting process. I mean, we're going through that whole deal right now with the house, and it's like, oh my God, when does it ever end? Right. So I'm right there with you, bro. It's good times, growing pains, but it doesn't mean that they're not painless. Right. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this, maybe last question, we'll kind of wind down here, but what's been your biggest suggestion or tip or thing you've learned along the way as you've grown your company to where it's at today? Like you guys are probably knocking on the door of 7 figures in revenue if you're not there already, from the sounds of it. What's the biggest thing you had to learn along the way, or the biggest challenge that you're dealing with right now, as maybe business wise or even personal, like development? What's been your biggest struggle, or what's your biggest challenge right now?
So yeah, we're right about that 1.2 mark this year.
Oh, nice. Congrats. That's awesome.
And thank you. So we just broke the $1 million this year, and
huge.
One of the best, huge. A lot moving on, but overall, going back to the last thing, I don't think I answered the question about the next goal. Start another landscape crew, pursue the landscape, and just keep the maintenance going. But our revenue wise, the design build work is substantially higher in our number wise than the maintenance is. So promote that, build that up. But struggle wise, the guys knock out work so damn fast. It's that's one of the hardest things. Is I'm like, you guys are done with this project, and that's been one of the hardest things for me personally.
Selling work,
we've been blessed with a lot of workflow. Is just always they're burning work so fast because we got basically all the equipment we need. Everything's top notch, and just keeping it up week after week with maintaining home life balance, a lot with everything.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's a good problem to have. If you got good guys and, got to turn on the sales machine and continue to work on marketing and branding. And,
we found a lot of success with Google has been really the key to our growth.
Love it, man. I love it. That's huge. Well, I'm glad that you guys are kicking butt and growing in that fashion, man. It's really, really exciting times for you guys, man. So that's huge. Yeah. Well, dude, let's do this. We'll probably land the plane right here, man. I actually got to get running here myself. Never a dull moment. But thanks for taking time to be on the show, and super excited about everything that you guys got going on. Where can people find you if they want to keep up with the adventure and everything you guys are doing?
Yeah. So it'd be like basically Fields Landscape & Co. Inc. on basically all exactly how it's spelled out for Instagram, and Facebook. And our website, fieldslandscapingco.com. We're more active on Instagram at this moment.
Yeah.
But overall, need to get back on the social media game a little bit heavier.
All good, man. That's awesome. Well, dude, congrats on all the growth. Super excited about you and the whole team. Sounds like you guys have a great thing going down. Next time I get down into North Carolina, I should say, I'm going to try to come find you guys, come hang out. I know you're next to a bunch of buddies and peers of ours that before we hit record, I was like, dude, you're right in like the back neck of the woods where all my friends hang out. So I got to come down there and regroup and, come hang out in North Carolina. There's a lot of great businesses down there, man. So that's awesome. But just want to say congrats again on everything you got going on, man.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Good times. Yeah, absolutely, brother. All right, guys. Well, we'll land the plane for right now on this conversation with Connor. Make sure you guys give him a follow on IG and Fields Landscaping Co. Inc. And he's got some cool photos, and you get to see a bunch of their work and their equipment as well. So always a good time. Well, we'll button it up right here, guys. Appreciate you listening in to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Hope you guys appreciated the guest interview today, kind of changing it up. And look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next episode.
Is your lawn care business ready to grow faster than your best kept lawn? Then you'll want to join Link, the ultimate community built exclusively for lawn care pros like you. With Link, you'll gain insider access to expert advice, live monthly coaching calls, and a private Facebook group active with successful launchpreneurs. This isn't just another group, it's a movement of pros committed to winning together. Act now and grab our special early bird pricing. Head to launchpreneuracademy.com or click the link provided in the podcast description.
Link is only $29 a month through January. Starting February 1st, it'll be $49 a month for new signups. If you sign up prior to February 1st, your rate will be locked in at $29 per month, and there's no price increase for current Link members.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.